Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of Robbie's Backstage Bants. Today, I'm joined by Jenny Legg. How are you doing?
I'm really good. Thank you so
Oh,
much for
good.
having me.
No, absolutely. It's always good to have a fellow Northerner on the call.
You're telling me. It's really nice. It's nice
Yeah,
to hear. That.
yeah, because you find that my accent varies definitely quite a lot through the episode. You'll watch my ones with people from Broadway, and I'll sound like I'm from down south because I'm trying to adapt. You know,
I do exactly the same thing. I
no
have
one will
done that.
understand me if I speak like I normally do. So this is nice. I get to let my roots come through and go there. So how have you been coping through all of this? Feels like it's literally never going to end.
Yeah, it's. Do you know what? I actually have to say I've been incredibly lucky compared to a lot of people that I know in that I have been able to teach. So I've basically been teaching online now for a year,
Wow.
hence the bags under my eyes. I've developed Zoom bags, as I'm going to
Zoom
call them.
bags.
Oh, it's a nightmare, but I'm really lucky. So I've been able to teach. Um, I'm here. I live in a flat with three other people, so I haven't been on my own.
That's good.
And yeah, and there've been opportunities, from April until now, opportunities to still perform a little bit or create.
That's
So
really good.
actually, yeah, I can't complain. I really can't.
No, at least
No.
you haven't been completely off the grid, and locked away, which is nice. It's good that you've had teaching to do. I've been lucky enough to experience some of your teaching, and I would definitely recommend it. So if anyone's looking for some workshops, go this way. Um, so the first questions I've got for you today are about your journey and how you ended up there in this Zoom call. You have to right to this very minute is the story I'm looking for. So the question is, what is the journey of how you got to where you are today?
Okay, oh God, the journey. I started performing in the Northeast,
Wait,
which is where I'm from, dancing and acting. I moved to London when I was 16 to train, and then basically have been lucky enough to have been performing for nearly 14 years professionally. And
that's really
that's
good.
been West End or touring or, yeah, anything. Yeah,
That's
that's it.
really good. No, that's really good because there's not many stories of, people from up here in our little tiny corner of the universe that have gone on to go and perform professionally, which is, it's really good to hear from someone who has, to make you know that you're not going to be disadvantaged because you're up here, which is
Oh,
great.
cool.
And I'm glad that exists because we're actually pretty cool up here. Let's be real. And the next sort of question is, did you ever have any other career paths in mind, or did you always know that you wanted to perform?
I mean, career-wise, probably not. It probably never went through my head to think of an actual career that I might
Yeah.
follow instead of this. But I've definitely got other interests. Like my dad's always been into motorbikes and watching the motorbike racing.
Mm.
So that's a really big part of my life that a lot of people might not know about. And I would have loved to have worked with that in some capacity if I
Yeah.
wasn't dancing. Or I'm really interested in kind of keen on going down the event planning route. So that's another thing that I'd have been interested in. But to be honest, I feel quite lucky. I probably could turn my hand to lots of things,
Yeah.
but I really wanted to dance.
Yeah. Have you done any lockdown baking?
Oh
A
my
lot of people
goodness.
did lockdown baking.
We did. We did at the start of lockdown, and we had some neighbours, some nurses that lived underneath our flat.
Oh,
And we used to send them over the balcony with this little bag and a rope. We used to send them, we used to send them stuff. So we would send them bakes, and then they'd bake and send them back up. But their bakes were like Mary Berry standard,
uh-oh.
and ours were like all right. Yeah, it was gorgeous. I loved it.
We were just we and people who live on the road from us, they bake quite a lot. So we had things left on our doorstep. You'd open the door to go out somewhere, and you'd be like, "Where did this cake come from?" You know, it's nice though.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I do like a bit of baked goods. Um, so now we'll jump on. Whoa! Now we can jump on to a chat about your career, the whole thing. But I've just written down some things. Talk about what you want to talk about. If there's anything you don't feel like saying, don't say it. It's pretty chilled. So the first thing I've noted down, it's in a complete botched order. I just went out of that one, this one, and that one. White Christmas. So
Yeah.
what was that like for you?
So White Christmas was actually my first dance captain
Wow.
job.
Yeah,
Okay,
knew
so
that.
twice. You must have known that, yeah. So I actually did it 2 years in a row. So I did it Christmas 2009, and then I
Wow.
did it Christmas 2010. Yeah, and it was so that will have been my second professional job. So yeah, my first dance captain job. If I'm honest, really honest, the first year was not my favorite year.
What?
It was really hard. Obviously, I was incredibly young, so I was about 21, 22, acting as a dance captain as my second job, and that was tough. I had to gain respect and all of that
Mm,
from people in the company who'd been in the industry for years, and everyone was great, but it was hard.
yeah.
So really, I didn't enjoy the show until the following year when I was in the ensemble. I didn't have that responsibility. As much as I love being a dance captain, I
Yeah.
needed a break from it for the second year, and I got to cover one of the roles, and I went on for it. So the show
Powerful.
itself is stunning. Yeah, it's beautiful. This show. It's a shame actually that people probably won't see the original again.
No.
But yeah, it was gorgeous, and I loved it. Yeah.
I mean, Christmas is always the best. Anything. Christmas
Yeah,
is the greatest.
that's it. And I did it actually. I forgot to say I did it at Sunderland Empire,
Well,
2010. I mean, which obviously I'm a Newcastle girl, but close enough.
Sunderland Empire is beautiful.
Yeah.
Can't wait. That was the last place I was. Not the last place in the world that I was, but the last last theatre I was in. And I
Oh,
believe Newcastle Theatre Royal is going to be the first one I'm in. So
what are you gonna say?
6.
Ah, I thought you were gonna say that.
Yeah, it's got to be, hasn't it? Bring on
Mm,
July. Um, and the next thing
yeah,
is again
definitely.
festive, which we love a bit of Christmas. Elf.
Oh,
Elf is one of the best things.
isn't it? Elf honestly has to have been the most fun that I've ever had in a show on stage. Obviously, everybody took it very seriously. Everyone was professional, but it was
Yeah,
so silly. Like, the opening number, we're all rolling up, not rolling, walking along on our knees, pretending to be elves.
I love
I
it.
mean, it's honest, it's brilliant, isn't it? And it's such a laugh, but actually, the TV recording that was done
Mm,
made it look a bit panto-esque, and
it did.
actually it wasn't that. And if you watched it in real life, it actually wasn't that. And I loved it. What a giggle that was. It was so good. I wish I'd got on more because I was
Yeah,
swing and assistant dance captain on that one, and I only got on, God, about 4 or 5 times. So yeah, I loved it.
I bet. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun.
It's
I
so much fun.
don't know if my knees would be able to cope with that though.
To be honest, that's why I'm quite glad I wasn't on every night.
Yeah. Looking at it going, God, I
Hurts.
should be able to do that at my age. It's not going to happen. I can't even get down there. Lord Farquaad's off the grid for me. Um,
Brilliant.
love Lord Farquaad. That'd be a good one. So what was like the audition process for Elf then? How did that?
How did it come about? Like, how was
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, to be honest, it was like any other audition process. Generally, the
mhm,
only thing I would say that was different about it was it seemed like basically it was Michael Rose Productions that put it on. It's actually the same company that I did White Christmas for.
oh,
And what they tend to do is they have a group of people that they will often use quite a lot, just because they know that they can bring them in at short notice and they'll be able to do the job.
mhm,
So it was a little bit of that, in the sense that my audition, there weren't very many people in the room, so I think they'd filled a certain amount of slots,
yeah,
and then they needed to fill some more, and it was done quite quickly. I feel like it was a couple of auditions, and that was it really, which is
wow,
not normal.
that's quite
And then I
fast.
got the call, when I left the room. I got the call as I was walking through London, because I decided to walk through London, being a nice day,
As you
and I got
do.
the call on the same day. Yeah, so it was
Wow,
really quick. But it was a dance audition and a singing audition, and then the same thing again another day.
there
That's
you go.
basically all it was. Yeah,
I mean, that is, if I had to choose to be in a show right now, I think I would choose Elf,
good choice.
just because it's Christmas and it's fun. Need
Yeah,
that in my life right now. Elf the musical. Let's go.
Don't we all?
If anyone hasn't seen the broadcast version of it, I don't know if that's going to be on at Christmas again. But if it is, keep an eye out because it's fantastic. And look out for Jenny's name in the credits because
Because I'm not in the actual
she's
film.
not in the thing. I was sat there in the credits going, "Come on, come on, we got there." So the next thing we're gonna shout it up about is Singing in the Rain. Oh,
Singing in the Rain is still to this day my favourite show I have ever done. And I mean, obviously, if anyone's watching this and I've done other shows for those people, I have loved every show. It's true. But Singing in the Rain, honestly, I would do that show for the rest of my career if I was allowed to, for so many reasons. Andrew Wright's choreography, to me, is just second to none. Everything he choreographs is so satisfying to dance. Um, Secondly, I got to dance in the rain every day. I mean, how cool is
I
that?
love that.
I'd love it too. It's a northern thing. A lot of the southerners didn't like it,
Didn't they?
but nah, they didn't like it. They didn't
We're
get it.
used to the rain. I think that's the thing. We're used to getting it constantly.
Yeah, that's true. But it was honestly the most amazing experience. And I got to play my dream role in that show. I got to be Sid Charisse in Broadway Melody every night. And that's honestly, I really mean it when I say I never thought that would happen in my entire life to do that. So I would do it for the rest of my career. I loved it so much.
Well, you'll probably be back. I can only imagine you'll be back in that.
So
Yeah,
tell
probably.
everyone.
Get back in the rain.
Mm.
And if you can't get back in the rain, just come back up north. Same thing, isn't it? Really. That's what we were doing in the summer when you couldn't actually go inside. We were just singing in the rain. We were doing it in the gardens. It was nice. It was great. Um, and then another one, which to me sounds terrifying because of all the dancing. 42nd Street. I'm
That
terrified.
I'm not surprised, and I was as well. And I was terrified until probably about 3 months in when I knew. It's,
Yeah.
so I did that. I actually got that while I was doing Elf, which was an amazing. I mean, to be able to
Oh,
finish a job and yeah, and know that I had that after Christmas was amazing. 42nd Street is unlike anything I've ever been in, purely for the sheer capacity of it or the amount of people who were in it. And I remember talking to my friends when it was coming back to town, um, and couldn't get an audition for love nor money, could not get in the room, even with all the tap credits on my CV. I couldn't get in the room, and I actually felt a bit bitter about it. So when I heard, I know that's awful and that's really unlike me. It's
well,
like so unlike me.
I don't blame you.
Well, I was like, come on, this is my kind of show. But I went to see it thinking, I don't know how this is going to work with that many people on the stage. I can't see it in my head. I don't know how it's going to work. And I remember sitting in row E of the stalls, right in the middle. I treated myself to it for my birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. And I remember sitting there and crying at the end of I mean, it's so pathetic, isn't it? But by the end of the overture, being so overwhelmed by it that I went, this is sensational. And to then have an opportunity to be in it was unreal. And I was actually really upset when it was over, really upset, unlike I've been upset about anything else, really
Yeah.
upset. However, I did meet some of my very best friends on that job. So,
Wow.
yeah, it was really amazing.
I bet. I mean, everyone says that the jobs are like families. It's just like one family to the next.
It is. Yeah.
I hope there's not been any where you haven't had the family, but you never know. There's always one. Um, it's what you learn. But obviously, those aren't the only things you've done, and there's many, many more. But the last one we're going to speak about is obviously the most recent one of my favorite and probably the most underrated shows ever, 9 to 5.
You're so right. Definitely underrated. I
Yeah.
totally agree. Yeah.
Saw it for the first time, oh well, the only time, but let's not. In Sunderland last year, not last year. Ignore that. Last year didn't happen. 2019.
Yeah.
Blown away. So how is that for you? What is it like being in that show?
Well, I've got so many things that I could say about that
Well,
job.
you can say them things.
I'm going for it. There, I mean, not only was it amazing to be in it because I think that it's also underrated, and
Mm.
I learned that when I got into the job and got into the show, sorry, and started to actually do the show and realized how brilliant it is. Not only for that reason, but we had the best time with the most brilliant people, the most talented people in that job. Um, for me, and I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, I was treated really well. I was given opportunities that, again, I never thought I would achieve in my life. Or some of those being covering the roles I was covering. So
Yeah.
I covered. I don't know if you were going to ask me this. Should I say it now?
You can say that. Go for it.
So I covered. I mean, I covered Margaret, the drunk, which was always a laugh.
Love that.
Um, I covered Roz, the secretary to Hart, which was the sensational Bonnie Langford, who,
Absolutely.
which is amazing because years before I auditioned for Dirty Rotten Scoundrels and was actually up to cover her part. I didn't get the job,
Oh,
funnily enough, but weird how the world does
and
that.
then you ended up covering her anyway.
Covering her, and I'd been working with her on 42nd Street before that, so we actually
Oh,
had a really lovely, and still do, like we're very, I would say we're good friends within the industry. She's a lovely, lovely woman, and one of the biggest powerhouses I know.
he's probably just thinking, please leave me alone. Stop stalking me. Thanks.
I mean, let's be honest, she probably is. But,
Why you gonna leave me alone?
just Jenny, back off. But I got to cover that part, and that for me was a massive challenge because I'm not naturally a comedian. It's not where I
Yeah,
sit. So that was amazing. But most of all, I got to cover Violet, who is,
mad.
I think, would you'd probably say was the lead of the show. And
Yeah,
not only did I cover her, I went on for big stints of time, so 2 or 3 weeks at a time, some because of illness, some because of holiday. And I got to stand, I can't even believe I'm saying it, on a West End stage and lead a show. And I can't tell you what that meant to me. And to prove to myself I could do it.
yeah.
Um, and then aside from that, I got to work with David Hasselhoff. I got to work with Brian
I
Conley,
mean,
Chelsea Halfpenny, Natalie McQueen. Natalie's a really, really good friend of mine. Like Amber Davies, everyone. It was just, I don't know what to say, Robbie.
wow. I think that's all you can say at the minute. Wow.
Just amazing.
I mean, when we all found out the Hoff was going to be in the cast, I think we were all quite jealous of the cast. Um, me considering, is there any chance I can get down to London and go and see this again? Because
Yeah.
I'd quite like to. Um, and obviously, 95 is touring at the end of the year. That's
Hoping, yeah. I mean, at the moment, the plan, I think originally was for it to be now, which obviously can't happen.
yeah. I'm sure it was meant to be coming to Sunderland like
In-
May.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the plan now is to hope for summer.
Yeah,
I think that everyone is, I mean, I don't know this with 9 to 5. I'm just speaking on behalf of tours that are happening. I think people are quite realistic that that might be later than that. But we don't know. We're hoping for the summer.
yeah. That'd be really really nice. We need it back. I need to book my tickets. Actually, that's a good reminder. Thank you. Um,
On the
well, see you there. It's definitely it's these things now. You're thinking, well, yeah, I need to book tickets for that. You know, when tours were announced back in 2019, 2020, and then you're like, okay, I need to get tickets for this, and then all your tours from last year got rescheduled. So now you're a bit lost. I'm stuck in a bit of a void now. I've got things that I've missed, things that are still coming up, and I'm confused. Um,
Okay.
but no, 9 to 5 is hands down one of the greatest shows ever.
It's fun, isn't it?
It's something that people just don't realize is as good as it is. Like we got tickets for it because my nana is a massive Dolly Parton fan, and
Oh,
so that was the reason for going. Um, and we went, and I think I enjoyed it a hell of a lot more than she did.
yeah.
I mean, she loved it. Don't get me wrong, but I had a
Yeah.
great time,
Yeah.
especially with Dolly. That's all I'm gonna say. Not gonna go too much into detail, but
do that, and everyone will get it. Yeah, when they see it, they'll get
When you see it.
it.
But no, it's absolutely beautiful. So now let's roll on to the fans' questions.
Okay.
This is where it gets interesting. So the first fans' question is from Billy, and Billy has asked, "What is your dream role?"
Ah, fabulous. Okay, so again, if anybody watches this that has heard me say this before, I apologise, but it really is my dream role. I'd love to play Velma Kelly in Chicago. It's just
Yes.
it's my casting, and it has always been my casting. But not only is it my casting, it's what I love to do. So
Mm,
I love that kind of slightly dark kind of role, but with the opportunity to be a little bit musical theatre about it.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'd love to play Velma Kelly. If I couldn't play Velma Kelly and I had another choice, I'd choose Sally Bowles in Cabaret. So quite similar
Yeah.
roles.
Very
Yeah,
similar. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely. No, we
great.
need that to happen.
Just put it out there. Let's put it out into the
But then
universe.
the All-Star Chicago cast that's just been announced,
I know.
it's not you. Where are
Not,
you?
it's not
Who's that? Oh,
me.
Jenny.
It's because I'm hopefully I want to play Violet in 9 to 5, so we need to put that out there instead.
Well, this is what we're kind of hoping for. I mean, I'll let you know when I'm coming, trip someone up if you fancy. I'll trip someone up. I'll
Good. That'd be great.
banana skins all down the corridor and just see what happens. The next question's from Trevor, and Trevor's asked, if you forget a line on stage, what do you do?
Oh God, Trevor. Great question. Oh God. So I have to say the majority of my life never struggled with that because
That's
my
good.
brain, yeah, my brain kind of works in patterns. So usually it just kind of comes out like a song would. But the one show where my parents came down
Oh
to London,
no.
yeah, to watch me as Violet. I mean, nobody would have known. The only people who knew were my parents because they could see the panic in my face. But right at the end of the show, ran on for almost the last scene, ran on. Was it David Hasselhoff? I think it might have been David
Oh
Hasselhoff.
no.
Said his line. Could I remember what my line was?
No.
No. So I just said something that was vaguely similar and then tried not to laugh, which was really hard. And often when people forget their lines, that's what will happen. Somebody will make something up, but that's even funnier than
It is
losing the line.
beautiful. I mean, we when we saw it, I think it must be that scene, like the last couple scenes, because Laura Tyra we had for Violet,
Mhm.
she didn't mess up the line per se. She stammered on the line. She was like, "Buh, buh, 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 buh," and then Mr. Hart, of course, Sean Edom, legend, just took the mick out of her there
Oh
and
yeah,
then. It was
yeah, yeah,
beautiful.
absolutely. He's really good at that,
He's
actually.
really good.
And what's brilliant is he puts you at ease when he does that,
Mm.
because you'd think it would throw you more, but it doesn't.
We were all
And
in
you know what?
hysterics.
I can guarantee you it's probably the same line, but through me as well,
It
because
will
there
have
was,
been.
yeah, and you just can't get it out. It's such a
No,
nightmare.
no, no, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was everyone was rolling around laughing. It was fantastic. Um, the next question from Olivia, and Olivia's asked, "How do you learn your cover roles?"
Oh, great question. No one's really asked me that, you know. So, like, that's a good way of putting it. How do you learn them?
Yeah,
Everybody's really different. So, I like to work that even in a show where you know that things are going to change as people set scenes,
yeah, yeah.
I will just watch people from the get go and I'll write stuff down. And if it changes, I rub it out and I write down what they do.
Hmm.
I tend to record quite a lot if everyone's happy with that. Some people aren't happy with that to begin
Yeah.
with, but I'll always ask. Um, but to be honest, it's just drilling it. And I'm really lucky. My fiance is also in theatre. So he's actually in Tina, the musical.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so his name's Samuel J. Weir. He's in Tina. And he's really good with me in that, obviously, as I would be with him, that he reads everything through, but I don't just get that kind of monotone that you would get from someone who's not an actor. So it's
We've all
easier
been
to
there.
learn things. Yeah, yeah. It's easier to learn things because I get a really, really good kind of response. But yeah, it's just really drilling it for me and going over and over and over it. But I'm lucky, I've got a bit of a computer brain, so I'm all
Oh,
right.
that's
I can
good.
learn things. Yeah.
As long as you've got the brain for it, you can do that
Yeah.
sort of thing. So do you
Yeah.
use swing maps then when you're swinging? Do you do maps?
I do maps, yeah. I'm quite old school, so I know that these days some people will just use recordings,
Yeah,
but I like having it written down. And also, especially if you're a dance captain, it's quicker to go. This is where you're supposed to be. But yeah, I do like a swing map.
I think I'd
Yeah,
prefer maps. I need a physical thing to hold. That's my
yeah, it's so
approach.
much easier.
Yeah. The next question's from Evie, and Evie asked, "What is your favorite song in 9 to 5?"
Oh, nice one. Um, oh God, I've got not a few answers. I've got a
You can
couple of
do that.
answers for
That's
this.
allowed.
Am I allowed? Okay, good. So to sing with everybody, well, with other people,
Hmm.
I used to love singing "I Just Might" with the other two girls, when I was on for Violet,
Yeah.
and it was just lovely. It was lovely to sing, and it was heartfelt, and I loved that. But actually, as an ensemble member, probably "Shine Like the Sun" because it's really hard to sing as an ensemble member, but it's really powerful. So I'd
Yeah.
probably say that. Yeah, I love that song.
I mean, every song in the show is just I could sit there and I would end up listing them all. So at least you've got two favorites. Casey's asked, who would you play? Who? No, no. Who would play you in a musical about your life?
Ah, I like that question. I've heard other people be asked this
Yeah.
before. Who would play me? Does it have to be somebody? It could just be an actress, couldn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't have to be.
I who would play me? Probably. Oh, I don't know. Who
It's
would
hard, isn't
play?
it?
It's really hard. There are people I really like who are in, like, who aren't necessarily actresses, but are in the kind of celeb world. But I
Yeah.
don't think that they would, like, I would say, like, Emma Willis, Matt Willis's wife, but
Yeah.
she's not an actress, so I don't know whether I can really say that. Who could play me? Maybe, who am I always compared to? Maybe, oh, I've forgotten her name. Like Jennifer Garner or someone.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. I don't know, they'd
Yeah.
also have to be a bit ballsy though. So I might come back to you in a minute. I can't think of anyone. Can you?
Um.
I'll put you on the spot now.
No. This is why I do the interviews. I don't like being interviewed.
No, I
Um.
can't even think of anyone. Or somebody Geordie. So maybe Chelsea Halfpenny can.
Hey, do you know what? That's not a bad idea.
No, and she's lovely.
Let's go with that, Chelsea. All right. You've made it to the quiz. Are you ready? How well do you know 9 to 5? Is the real question. Okay.
Okay.
The first question's difficult. The second one's all right. The rest of them should be fine.
Okay.
Okay. So the first question is, and you can sit and count them if you really want to. How many songs are in your version of the CD, including like the bows, which is on a song?
Okay. Let me just
Like
think for a
how many
second.
tracks in the album?
I'm just having a think.
It's below 20.
I'm gonna guess 17.
Well done. You're right
Right.
on there. 17. Yes, yes, yes. That was good. That's good.
Lord.
That's the one people get wrong. I mean, I haven't had anyone from 9 to 5 yet, so I had to create a new quiz. But
I like that one. That's
aside from that, uh, this is another one that should be quite easy. And who plays Judy in that recording, in that specific cast recording? Who is playing Judy?
Amber Davies.
It is indeed. That's two out of 5. What next? This one should be easy because it's literally just happened, and I have the memory of a
I'm scared.
memoryless thing. So it should be easy. Which TV show did some of the cast most recently perform on?
Saturday Night Takeaway.
I had to include that one because, Northerners, it just made sense. The next one is a finished lyric, and this is the one where I struggled. It is none of your songs, so
It's
the
okay.
the words you have is "I wonder what you'll do now I'm not around."
1 second. Oh, I can't hear the tune in my head.
This is the hardest part.
Oh God. Oh God, I don't know. I don't know. I can't hear the tune.
You know where it's from?
It's from Judy's song at the end. Get out and stay out.
It is. It
Yeah.
is.
I don't know. I can't hear it.
It is. And now that your new love has up and let you down.
There.
You know, you got the song though. You knew where it's from.
Oh, I could hear it. I just
I'll
couldn't hear
give
the
you
tune.
I'll give you half a point.
Oh, thanks.
That's just beginner's luck. And the fifth question, I don't know if you'll know this one or not, so I'll take either a month. I'm happy for taking the month, but if you get the exact date, I might let you retrieve your point and go for the full five.
Oh my.
Which is, when did previews for the current production begin?
Ah.
I took this right off the website.
Yeah. For the current, as in our version in the West
Your
End.
version, yeah.
So I know that our press night. So I don't know which one was previews and which one was press night, and I feel like previews was in January and press night was in February. That's what I think.
You're right with January.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go, and I feel like,
It's quite late on in January.
yeah, now that's what I'm thinking. I feel I've got it in my diary, but my diary's not here, so I can't cheat.
Well, that's good.
I'm gonna go 22nd of January.
It was the
Oh my
28th of January.
god!
So you got January. So I'll give you the point for that. So 4.5 out of 5.
I think that's pretty good.
That's not bad. Who shall I get? Who shall I get from 9 to 5 to challenge you on that quiz next?
Oh, you could get. Let's think of somebody who I feel like would know everything. Probably, I don't know, who was in my dressing room. Probably someone like Brian Conley. No, actually, he probably won't know everything. I think maybe somebody, not him, maybe Chelsea Halfpenny. I think you should get Chelsea.
I'll try. I'll certainly try. It'd be really nice to have Chelsea in, actually. And then we can tell
Yeah.
that she's playing you as well. That's
Yeah.
Right. So the final things I want to do is firstly remind everyone watching that I am trying to raise a bit of money for acting for others by doing these. So if anyone wants to jump into the description, there'll be a nice little link if you want to click on it and donate some. That'd be really nice. The second thing is I would like you to subscribe and follow me on the social medias, which will also be down in the description. It's quite a big description because there's so much to fit in. Because then you'll find out who's going to be next on the call. I don't even know yet. I can't tell you. I'm very last minute like this. Jenny will tell you that.
Worked out fine though.
It did, didn't it? Here we go. And finally, thank you so much for coming in and joining me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Oh, Robbie, I've loved it. Thank you so
Me
much for
too.
having me.
No,
Honestly,
thank you.
well, thank you.
It's been great. Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.